Hey guys, welcome to the Topical. Nate here, and today I am doing my over or under for Disney movies in honor of the release of Raya and the Last Dragon.
Before we do that, I have a question, Nate.
What's the question?
Do you want to build a snowman?
Well, we don't ever get snow here, so I kind of do because I don't ever get to.
Well, the first movie for your over and under on Disney movies is the film Frozen.
Yeah, I think this one's a pretty easy call, and I guess it's waning a fair amount, but I'm still going to go pretty overrated on that movie. And the thing is that it's not even a bad movie. I actually kind of enjoyed Frozen, but having to hear that freaking song all the time and having to hear people talk about it all the time for like 2 years after that movie came out was just nauseating. And it's a good movie. It's a good Disney film, but not one that needs to be talked about that constantly for that long.
Went from a recent Disney classic to a all-time Disney classic in Peter Pan.
Man, that's pretty tough. I Since this is my opinion, I'm gonna go underrated. I feel like Peter Pan gets overshadowed by a lot of like that era of Disney films, but I personally I really like fantasy world type stuff. So just kind of like the whole concept of that film of getting ripped out of your reality and thrown into this like absolutely fantastical world where you kind of get to be like the king of your own reality, right? So that world still has like some rules and certain things, but like all you have to do is think happy thoughts and you can freaking fly and fight pirates and run from a ginormous alligator and things like that. And I think like for a movie that doesn't get talked about like from its the original Disney film so much, to have as many there are sequels to Peter Pan, like most sequels to like that era of Disney movies, meh. But even like the spin-offs that come off of it, like we got Hook. There's a Broadway Peter Pan show. There was like a straight to TV Peter Pan where I can't remember who it is. It's gonna drive me crazy because I only saw it once and I was really little. But they cast an actress to play Peter Pan in it, and it was really good. I didn't watch it, and I kind of wanted to because I dig the vibe of the trailer. But we even got that movie that absolutely no one apparently ever watched or ever heard of again, called Wendy, last year, I think. Where everyone was like a lot young. They had a lot of child actors in it and stuff, which I need to go find that and watch it. I dig the vibe of Peter Pan a lot. I think it's like a great like escapism film, and for that reason and how much I feel like it's overshadowed by like all of its other Disney counterparts from that era, I'm gonna go underrated.
When you were talking about Peter Pan and the sequels, you said most of the Disney sequels were meh, and most people probably didn't see this movie being on our over and under, even from afar. It's Aladdin 2, The Return of Jafar.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna go perfectly rated on it. Have seen it, watched it a lot as a kid. I'm a big Aladdin guy. I well, I'll save that opinion for later, just in case that movie pops up on the list. But yeah, I love Aladdin a lot. Return of Jafar, it was decent. It was pretty good. But again, like most sequels to animated Disney films, at least back in like the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, did not catch a ton of attention. Was definitely it was in the VHS player at my house a lot. But I'm going to go perfectly rated. Like I don't think that's necessarily over or underrated because in terms of Disney sequels, nobody like talks mad shit about Return of Jafar, but like no, I don't know anybody who's out there hyping it up like it's better than the original or like anything like that. So I think that that's probably right about where it needs to be.
One of Strange Wayne's favorite Disney movies of all time, The Emperor's New Groove.
That's another tough one because it's like obviously an incredibly memeable movie. So many Emperor's New Groove memes and like TikTok audios from the Emperor's New Groove. So I don't necessarily think that so much attributes to like how over or underrated the film itself is in the cultural zeitgeist. But I don't feel like it doesn't get talked about a whole lot. Like when you're talking about like classic, like the best animated Disney films, not that many people are gonna like automatically go Emperor's New Groove. So I am gonna go slightly underrated, but like very slightly, because it's obviously still wildly popular because of like how much Emperor's New Groove related things there are on the internet. But I really like it as well. I definitely haven't seen it as much as I've seen all the other ones. I remember liking it when I saw it the first time. But like, it's got some like iconic characters in there, and it's got a decent message to it. Definitely a little bit more like slapsticky than a lot of like the other like animated Disney movies that are gonna come to mind when you say, "Hey, name an animated Disney movie." So, which I think is why I'm going to go slightly underrated, because like it doesn't come to mind when you think of those things, but it is still a really solid movie.
Another Disney movie coming from the 2000s, Chicken Little.
I'm going to say overrated. And the reason that I'm going to say overrated is because I hate that movie. And I am very much so aware that people make a push to try to tell me that that movie is good. It is not. I don't care for that style of animation in my Disney a whole lot. I know it's the direction that they're like just kind of going now. Like 2D animation, as much as it absolutely breaks my heart, it's a thing of the past. Like it is. And like the most recent 2D animated or movie with 2D animation in it I can think of is freaking Tom and Jerry. And Strange One can tell you how bad that movie is, because I'm going to try really hard to not have to watch it. But yeah, I don't care about that movie. I don't think it's a good movie. I find Chicken Little himself to be kind of annoying, and I don't like that. Didn't like that story as a kid. So I'm going overrated, which, like, to be clear, I don't think there's anyone out there clamoring that this is like should be that much higher, but it exists and I don't like it. So it's overrated.
We're going to end on a classic, and that classic is The Lion King.
Yeah. That's really tough. I don't think that there is really an answer other than like it's perfectly, like, in terms of cultural perception, I think it is perfectly rated. And as much as I would love to be controversial and like I feel like if you say it's overrated, it's certainly controversial. I feel like saying it's underrated is also, it doesn't make sense, because like I think that you can make a push for Aladdin. Outside of that, like, whatever your favorite animated Disney movie is, that's fine, and I'm glad that you have whatever your favorite is, and I would never try to change what your favorite movie is. But if we're being objective, like, The Lion King is the best animated Disney movie in terms of like story, voice acting, music, like the whole everything put together. Viewing it from like a critical eye, keeping nostalgia and like personal opinions out of it, like, it's the best. So I don't understand how anyone could say that The Lion King is overrated unless you just really hate animated movies, which I don't. I love animated movies. So I'm going to go perfectly rated on The Lion King, not just because it's a safe choice. I just don't see how there's really any other choice than that. The movie is absolutely incredible. I think it gets all the love it deserves. To be clear, we are talking about the original Lion King and not like the crappy, we're going to say it's animated, but it's, or say it's live action, but the whole movie's actually animated Lion King, right?
There's only one Lion King.
Okay. I agree. So, yeah, I don't think that it could be anything other than just perfectly rated the way it is. I don't think it's necessarily a perfect movie, but when you put it in its own category, I think it stands strongly at the top, which is where it seems to stand in most people's perception. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you think I got something wrong about any of these films down in the comment section below. Mostly, just let me know how bad Chicken Little is, because I agree with you and we can talk about it. So don't forget to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe.
not a game, it's a rich thing.